Hello everybody, welcome to this video. Today we're going to speak about the 5 best apps that you can use as a European to start investing in 2021 and beyond. Now, a few things to know before watching the video. All these apps are all focused on one thing, and that's long-term investing. We're not going to speak about CFD, no day trading, or anything short-term related or not long-term related. Also, all the apps that I'm going to speak about in this video, you can find them in Europe, but not in every single country. So before making your choice, make sure that the app that you choose is available in your country. Also, there's no specific order in which I'm going to present these apps today, so watch till the end if you want to see all the apps that I'm going to present in this video. And by the way, if you look at the description down below, you can see that there's timestamps here, so if you want to go to a specific part of the video, you can just click on the timestamps and you'll be there in just a second. And finally, the way it's going to work is that I'm going to speak about the pros of the broker, the cons, and give my overall opinion on it at the end. Okay, I think we are ready to start with the first one, that is Etoro. So Etoro is a pretty interesting app. The first thing that is really good about it is that all stocks and all ETFs are commission free. It literally means that you can buy all the stocks you want and all the ETFs you want without paying any fee on them, which is a really cool feature to have, and you're actually going to see with the list down below that not all the apps have commission free on stocks and ETF. Also, one great thing about them is that they offer a demo account. Of course, if you are a beginner when it comes to investing and you go to an app for the first time, you don't want to be lost and lose money on some trades that you're doing. So what's cool about Etoro is that you can open a demo account in which you don't use real money. You can use fake money to invest and see how it is, which is really cool, and I think it's a must-have for investing apps, especially if you are a beginner. Now let's go to the biggest strength of Etoro, and that's its social trading platform. So the way it works, and that's something really unique that I've never seen before in any investment apps, you can literally follow people on the app just like a social media and copy the portfolio and follow them, which means that you can allocate a percentage of your portfolio to follow another portfolio. So it's literally going to do the exact same trades and you're gonna have the same results. So if the person that you're following makes 20% in a month, then you're gonna earn 20% from this part too. So it's a really cool feature to have. You can follow people that are doing some day trades, you can follow people that are investing in the long term, and you're gonna get the same results as them. But of course, if you follow them, you can actually lose money with that if they are not performing as well. If they lose money, you also lose money. That's why this is a pro, that's a unique feature, that's why it's here, but I will not recommend if you don't know what you're doing to follow anybody that you know. And finally, for the last pro of Etoro, I would say that it's pretty well regulated app, so you won't have any problem with the security on it. However, it could improve because Etoro is not listed on the stock exchange, which means that it's not really the safest app out here. We're gonna see later on in the list that there are some more secure apps, and yeah, I think they could improve on that. Now let's speak about the cons, because of course you want to know what's bad about this app. The first bad thing about Etoro is that they have an inactivity fee. So if you use their platform and you're not active on it for more than a year, it's gonna charge you $10 per month. Of course, if you continue using it, depositing, buying stocks, etc., you're not gonna have to pay this fee, but I was still gonna include it into the cons because yeah, you can still lose money on that. And there's also two other things that I think could be improved with Etoro. The first one is that you have a minimum deposit of $200, which means that if you don't have $200 to put into an app, you cannot create an account with Etoro. And that's such a shame because so many other apps have no minimum deposit and you can just start investing right away by opening an account. So I think they could improve on that. And also, every single time that you're gonna withdraw money, you're gonna have to pay $5. So it means that if you wanna withdraw money from Etoro, don't do little payments every time. Do one big at a time and you're not gonna spend too much money on fees. But yeah, that's still a con to have. Now, probably the worst part of Etoro is that you can only have a USD based account, which means that every single time that you're gonna deposit money into your account and withdraw money from your account, you're gonna have to convert money into USD and convert back to your own currency. And the problem with it is that you're gonna have to pay conversion fees every single time you do this. So I don't really know why they only have a USD account. That's really something they could improve in the future. And finally, the last con about Etoro is their customer service, which really isn't the best. I'm not gonna say that it's a worse, clearly not, but it's not as great as it could be. So my overall thought about Etoro is that it's a great app, but it could improve on a lot of points, especially with fees, inactivity fees, minimum deposit and all this. But also it's a pretty interesting one, and it's a unique app because you can actually do this social trading platform thing where you can follow people and have the same portfolio as them. So that was Etoro. Second on the list, and we're going to speak about Interactive Brokers. Interactive Broker is a really good app because it's been there for so long right now. It's a really safe company, which in my opinion is their biggest strength. But let's start with the pros. The first pro of Interactive Broker is that they have really low buying fees. So if you remember from Etoro, they don't have any commissions on stocks and ETFs. Interactive Broker does, but it's a really low fee. So even if you have to pay a fee on it, it's still really small. So that's a pro for them. Also, something really interesting about this app is that they have an immense inventory of stocks and ETFs. If you want an app that has the biggest inventory of market products, Interactive Broker is probably the best. Now, something really cool compared to Etoro is that they have no minimum deposit and no withdrawal fees, which means that you can start investing with them with just $1 and you can also withdraw for free every single time. So you can do small payments, not like with Etoro where you have to pay a fee every time you do a withdrawal. Also, I was speaking before with the inventory of stocks and ETFs, they actually have way more than stocks and ETFs available. They have cryptos, they have CFDs, they have pretty much anything that you can find with market products are on Interactive Brokers. They have a decent customer service, which definitely is a plus for them, and their mobile platform is really easy to use, really user-friendly, so if you're a beginner and you want to have Interactive Brokers, it's pretty easy to use on mobile at least. Now, I was speaking before about their biggest strength, which is the safety. It's a really well-regulated broker. You can find regulations from the ECC in the US, from the FCA in the UK, and they also are listed on the Nasdaq, which means that it's pretty much the safest company that you're gonna find on this list. So these were all the pros, now let's go to the cons. Just like Etoro, they have an inactivity fee, but it's a little bit different than Etoro because this one is higher and you're gonna pay it since the very first month in which you're inactive. Yes, you're gonna have to pay $20 every single month if you are not active on your account, which really sucks in my opinion because when you wanna invest into the long term, you want sometimes to just put your money into an account and let it grow for the future. You can't really do that with Interactive Brokers because you're gonna get charged every single month if you're not using the app. Also, I think that I should mention this, but if you are 25 or younger, you actually will only have to pay $3 every single month that you are inactive, which is better, but you still have to pay money because you are inactive on your account. Also, it's pretty complicated to open an account with them, so if you wanna have the really beginner-friendly app, Interactive Broker is not really the one for this. And the last con about Interactive Brokers is that you can only deposit money with bank transfers, which really sucks. I mean, we're gonna see a little bit later on in this video that other apps, you can just use anything you want to deposit money on it, but with Interactive Brokers, you can only use bank payments. You can't use your credit card, you can't use debit card, you can't use your cryptocurrency wallet or anything else. So this is really something they could really improve on. So overall, if you want the safest platform that you can find in Europe, I think Interactive Brokers is a pretty safe one. But on the other hand, you're pretty much sacrificing a little bit of optimization when it comes to, for example, inactivity fees and stuff like this. So it really depends on you. You really want a safe platform, it's a really great one. And if you don't want to pay any fees, you might reconsider it. Now, let's go and speak about Trading 212. That's actually the app that I use myself to invest. They have a lot of pros, but they also have some big cons. So we're gonna speak about this right now. First thing that I really like about Trading 212 is that they don't have any commission for stocks and ETFs, which means that just like Etoro, if you want to buy a stock or an ETF, that's it. You just buy the price of the stock or the ETF and nothing else. No fees, no commissions, really cool. Now, we were just speaking about fees. Well, let's continue now. They have no inactivity fees, so great for long-term investments. They have no withdrawal fees, so when you take your profits, you don't pay anything more than this, and they have no minimum deposit. These 4 points together are, in my opinion, the biggest strength of Trading 212. Also, as Degiro, they have a pretty easy account to open, so it's not gonna take a while for you to do so, and also the app on mobile is super user-friendly, so really easy to navigate, really easy to use, so for beginners, it's also really good. And with Interactive Brokers, I was speaking before with the ways of depositing money. While Trading 212 got all of them, which is pretty cool. You can deposit with debit card, credit card, bank transfers, cryptocurrency wallets, anything that you have, you can deposit with it, which is a big plus. And for the final pro, I'm gonna say that they have a pretty good customer service. Every time that I used it, I got a response within minutes. If you send them an email, you're gonna get an answer pretty quickly, and they're always here to answer the questions, so I'm gonna say they have a great customer service. Now, the cons, of course, they have some pretty big ones. For example, the first one is that they only accept about 9 currencies on the app, which is a little disappointment in my opinion, because if you look at all the other apps that I was speaking about a little bit earlier, well, they have way more currencies available, so only 9 is not that good. Now, the platform on desktop is really unfriendly in my opinion. I tried to use it, didn't work at all for me. I believe it looks a little bit too much like a trading app. Of course, it's called Trading 212, so I understand that. But for long-term investments, really easy research, I believe this tool is not the best one. Also, I believe they could offer more products, because if you go with the Invest account, which is a free one with no commissions, well, you don't have access to cryptos, you don't have access to any other like exotic market products. You only have stocks, ETFs. I believe you can have some bonds too, but that's pretty much it. And also for me, the biggest con about Trading 212 is their safety. It's still a really safe platform, don't get me wrong, but they could really improve with a lot of points. First of all, they don't have any banking license, they are not listed on stock exchanges, and they don't give any public financial informations. That's in my opinion the biggest point that's gonna make people not come to Trading 212, because of the safety of the app that's still developing. It's still a really young company. That's why in my opinion they still don't have this in place. So overall, what are my thoughts on Trading 212? I would say that for beginners and for long-term investors, it's a really good app to use. Now, if you are concerned with the safety of the app, I would say that you could go with another one, but for me, it's the app that works the best for me. And let's go to the next one, which is Degiro. So Degiro is a pretty known app, and a lot of people are actually using it, and a lot of people were actually requesting a review on my channel. So today I'm going to speak about Degiro in a little bit more details. First pro about Degiro is that you have some of the lowest fees you can have in the market. You still have to pay some fees, right? But you're gonna have to pay the lowest, which is a pro, I believe. Also, something really cool is that you don't have any inactivity fees, so don't worry about Degiro. If you want to invest into the long term, you can dump all your money at once and let it grow for the future without even touching it. Also, you don't have any minimum deposit, which means that even if you're a beginner, you can just start investing with Degiro with just like $1 if you want to. Also, no withdrawal fees. That's something that a lot of people are waiting for. You don't want to pay money every time you withdraw money, right? That's when you are securing your profit, so you don't want to secure profit and just give it a little bit to the app, right? So you don't have to do that on Degiro. Also, the account is pretty easy to open, so if you're a beginner and you don't want to overthink the whole process, Degiro is a good one. Also, they have a really user-friendly platform, so yeah, for beginners, I believe Degiro is really good. They have an okay customer service that could improve, but that's already pretty good. They just don't have any live chat or any 24/7 response, which is really not the worst, and I believe that's a pretty good customer service that they have. Now, it's a safe platform that's well regulated, but on the other hand, they are not listed on stock exchanges and they don't give public financial informations. So they could improve on the safety, but it's already pretty good. Now, the cons of Degiro, there are not that many cons actually, but the first one, that's a pretty big one and probably the biggest one that I'm going to speak about today, is that they don't have any demo accounts. As I said before, they have everything in place to receive new investor, beginner at investing, and the only thing they miss is a demo account, which I think is mind-blowing because it's so easy to set up. You don't have to put real money, you can use fake money and just try the app out. So the fact that they don't have it, even though they have like no fees on this, really low fees on that, no minimum deposit and all this, I mean, they could really do better. Now, I was speaking about the fees a little bit before. You still have to pay fees, of course, which is a con. They are really low, of course, but you still have to pay fees. And the last con that I wanted to speak about with Degiro is that you have a really limited research tool available with Degiro. So if you want to look for specifics in a stock, if you want to find new products, if you want to find anything new and with a little bit of detail, you're not going to find it directly on the platform, which is a con, but you can also go like on Yahoo Finance and other websites to find these informations, but I still wanted to include it here. So my thought on Degiro, well, it's a pretty good app. Actually, for beginners, I believe it's one of the best. Now, they don't have any demo account, which I pretty much recommend for anyone that starts investing to use it, which I think is the biggest bummer about the app, and I think that if they just did it, the app would be way better. So that's your choice. If you're a beginner, Degiro is pretty good for you. And now let's speak about the last app on this list, and that's gonna be Revolut. Trading212 and Revolut are actually pretty similar in a lot of cases, and we're gonna compare that right now. First of all, they have some really low / non-existent fees most of the time, which is a really good thing about Revolut. Of course, you still have to pay a fee, but it's really small. Now, just like Trading212, you don't have any inactivity fees, you don't have any withdrawal fees, and you don't have any minimum deposit, which is really good. And also, just like Trading212, the two are really easy to open an account with, and of course, they are both really user-friendly. Okay, so these are really good pros. Now, let's speak about the cons, because unfortunately, they have quite a bit of them. The first one is that you don't have access to a demo account, which is, again, just like Degiro, a big bummer for me. I mean, if you're a beginner, you have an app that's perfect for you like Revolut, and you can't have a demo account, I believe this is such a deal breaker for a lot of people and for me also. Also, here is another big one. You can only have a USD based account, which means that every single time you're gonna put money onto the app, you're gonna have to pay a conversion fee, and every time you're gonna withdraw back to your currency, you're gonna have to pay a conversion fee again. And Revolut is known for this pretty high conversion fee, which is really bad. Over the long term, you're gonna lose some pretty high amounts of money if you continue to transfer money on and off the app. Now also, I put that into cons, but they are only available on mobile, which, I mean, for me it's not really a con, but for some people it might be. Now, this also is not good about it. They only offer stocks and cryptos. If you want to have anything else, you're gonna have to go to another app, because Revolut just doesn't have them. And I speak a lot about ETFs and why it's the best investment to do over the long term on my channel. Yeah, you just can't buy ETFs on Revolut, which in my opinion is something they really need to change. Now, I put that into the cons, but their customer service is really not that good. You can actually have calls with somebody, but all the calls are pre-recorded, which in my opinion is just like a joke. Apparently you get a lot of like inaccurate answers, and I believe that you can really improve a customer service pretty easily with that. And also, pretty much with all the apps that I presented today, they could be a little bit more safe. They are not listed on stock exchanges, and they don't give public financial information. So overall, I would say that Revolut got a lot of big pros, but also a lot of big cons, which in my opinion just brings down the value of the app so much that I would not really recommend it at the moment, but definitely something to keep on the side for later, because if they improve their cons, they can actually grow a lot. Now, if you are a beginner when it comes to investing, I would suggest going and watching this video right here that will explain you everything there is to know about it. Also, go and check out this video right here that's going to explain you how I invested $50,000 as a 20 years old. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.